Welcome to That's Good Sports. I am Brandon. I can't believe we made it through another non-winning season without rioting Perna. And that applies to both the Broncos and the Raiders. Based on the fact that the Raiders have only had one winning season since 2003, I'm surprised they're not run Mad Max style by the fans and Sebastian Janikowski and play in a Thunderdome every Sunday, despite the unsatisfying overall outcome for both teams this season. I wanted to discuss what each team can build upon for the next season, what their biggest needs are, and give a very, very brief prediction for this matchup that may be completely meaningless by kickoff. That's good sports. If you subscribe, if you click that subscribe button, I'll stop doing this. All right, the Raiders, they do have a chance to make the playoffs. Their chances are slimmer than Mark Davis paying for a haircut, but if the Titans and Steelers lose and the Colts beat the Jaguars and the Raiders win, they can make it to the wild card round. Now, the Titans play in the morning, which is why if they win, Vegas will be playing for nothing in Denver except pride. Now, here are a few things I think the Las Vegas Raiders need to address this offseason. The first thing the Raiders need to address this offseason is their new address. All the players have to move to the desert, find a stripper to house, and give themselves a strict weekly gambling limit. If the Raiders don't lead the league in arrests and money lost by players by 2030, then they have really squandered their potential as the first Las Vegas pro sports team. Oh yeah, I guess they have hockey. This team, though, they need to ensure they are competitive this offseason to bring respect to the new, impressive stadium they'll be playing in. I've seen that black reflective bowl up close, and this week many people on Twitter were reposting this video of the stadium's progress, and I have to admit, it is more impressive than I imagined. Considering this was the rendering of the stadium Mark Davis proposed to the NFL, Raiders fans got really fucking lucky. The second thing they need to address are their defensive backs. The secondary in Oakland is terrible. LaMarcus Joyner had his worst career year. Last year's injured corner draft pick Nick Nelson made it to the field for one game. This year's corner drafted in the 4th round, Trayvon Mullen, was okay. There's not a single star or even a red giant, a dying star for you science fucking idiots, in that secondary. It's why the Raiders secondary gave up 32 passing touchdowns, leaving only the Dolphins and Vance Joseph's Cardinals to be worse, and an 8th worst 262 passing yards per game. And it might finally be time to draft a quarterback to put some heat on Derek Carr. And get some help at linebacker through the draft or free agency. The Raiders have been pretty good against the run this season, allowing an 8th best 100 yards per game. But in addition to their secondary struggling, they can't cover shit with their linebackers. Vontaze Burfict was doing that job very well for them, and even though he's cleaned up his game for the most part, if he gets reinstated in 2020, he will constantly be one bad hit away from another long suspension. Losing him really hurt their defense, and I'd recommend with their projected $70 million in cap space, they target the Rams' Corey Littleton. Not only will he be the best available inside linebacker, the Rams have less than no money to sign him. 3 things I think the Broncos should address this offseason. Cornerback. The good news for the Broncos is that the only AFC West team with a lethal passing offense is the Kansas City Chiefs. And one of the best things you can do is build a defense to win within the division. The Chargers will probably get worse at passing in 2020 with the retirement of Phillip Rivers, or better yet, he comes back and breaks Jameis Winston's interception pace from this season. And I'm just not sure Derek Carr is ever going to scare me. Unless he puts on another layer of eyeliner and stands at the foot of my bed while I sleep. Even if Denver doesn't take significant steps to improve the secondary this offseason by virtue of only having to worry about Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce twice a season, they could be fine. However, I think their biggest need should be adding talent at corner through the draft and signing Justin Simmons, their safety, to a long-term deal, and probably letting Chris Harris Jr. walk unless he can come back and play in the slot. I never thought I would say that, and don't get me wrong, I really want Chris Harris back. I just don't think he really wants to be back, and he's going to command a lot of money. And maybe you can use that money to pursue a younger corner. The Patriots have the best secondary in the NFL, which I believe is the catalyst to the success on that side of the ball for New England. And I think you have to build your defense on the back end first, with the frequency in which teams throw the ball now. Nobody throws more than Andy Reid, and I'm getting fucking sick of losing to the fucking Chiefs. The good news is, with key injuries to Bryce Callahan and Devontae Bosby this season, the Broncos gave up the 5th fewest passing touchdowns at 18 and the 6th fewest passing yards per game. So they've done a pretty good job in that secondary with a lot of moving pieces and injuries. If Denver hits on a corner in the draft and gets Callahan on the field so we know that he's actually real, more real than Sua Cravens, and Bosby is as good as he appeared early, that back end could be a top 5 unit in 2020 and just maybe hold off Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill for some KC defeats. Next thing the Broncos need to do is let Mike Munchak draft or sign as many offensive linemen as he wants. The good news is the Broncos offensive line has looked better with Drew Lock playing quarterback. The bad news is Juwan James suffered 3 different tears to ligaments in his knee this season, which makes me nervous that he may struggle to stay healthy again in 2020. Ron Leary can be released for just $875,000 in dead cap, which would save the Broncos over $8 million in cap space. Washington right guard Brandon Scherff will be available in free agency, would be an upgrade over Leary, and I have to imagine wants to get the fuck out of Washington, who offered him over $13 million per year earlier this season, which it doesn't look like he will accept. The point, they need to make the offensive line better, and they may have to keep Garrett Bowles. Thirdly, punter. The Broncos have to find a punter who exploits the fact that he punts in high elevation. I'm tired of seeing literally every punter who comes into Mile High out leg blast Colby Wadman. Find me some foreign rugby kicking god born on the 4th of July just like the Scottish Hammer in Cleveland, or convert Adam Gotsis to punter. Just get someone better. Now, things Raiders fans should be excited for heading into 2020. Nathan Peterman coming off of IR and saving your franchise. Although we know as soon as a producer of Cirque du Soleil sees him in all his glory, he will be a star on the Vegas show stage. So maybe he is not your answer as savior. Honestly, if you can get Derek Carr one more receiving weapon, his safe/boring style of football may pay off. I don't know, I hear Amari Cooper's gonna be a free agent. Derek Carr has a great completion percentage, 3,663 passing yards this season, just 8 picks, a decent line now, and yet I'm not scared of the Raiders offense. Wait, I'm supposed to tell you what you're excited about. Al Davis spent 20 years drafting the fastest guy in the draft, so it's sort of ironic that the missing piece now is that super fast guy on your offense, and you might just be able to find him, Oakland. Something else to be excited about, Josh Jacobs. Running back Josh Jacobs was an obvious draft hit for Oakland. He's good, played with a broken fucking shoulder half the year, had knee surgery or leg surgery this week due to an infection, but it doesn't look like he'll play. He's basically every head coach's wet dream of a player. In fact, I'm sure John Gruden imagines Josh Jacobs when he's having sex with Mark Davis's wife. What? I like to believe the best in people. Mark Davis's wife didn't marry him for the money. She just has a type. And Mark and John and their wives all have an open relationship. It's disgustingly beautiful, much like Las Vegas itself. Now, Jacobs also got Pro Football Focus's best rookie running backs grade, averaged 3.5 yards after contact this season, fumbled just once, and broke 69 tackles. Nice. However, due to his broken shoulder and leg skin infection, isn't going to play this weekend. A skin infection is always at high risk when you spend a lot of time at the Raiders facility. I also think Jonathan Abram will be good, assuming he can play more than one game in a season. And even though Clelin Ferrell has a lot to prove still, Mike Mayock hit on picks later in the draft: edge rusher Maxx Crosby, touchdown stealing tight end Foster Moreau, and Hunter Renfrow. And similarly to Denver, Vegas, yes, we have to start saying the Vegas Raiders have young talent to build around, great cap space, and plenty of draft picks. Now, things Broncos fans should be excited about heading into 2020. We should be excited our team gets an all-expense paid trip to Las Vegas once a year, which is much closer to Denver than Oakland and will barely be considered a road game. Also, we can trust Mike Mayock to never find a quarterback better than Derek Carr. They passed up on Daniel Jones, who's thrown for 3 more touchdowns than Derek Carr in 4 fewer games, and they passed up on future MVP Drew Lock not once, not twice, not thrice, but quadruple times. Idiots. Another thing to be excited about, ball catchers. Noah Fant, who I will now call the next Tony Gonzalez. I watched some of the NFL 100 all-time tight end team, and the first thing I heard Tony Gonzalez talk about was how he led the league in drops his second season and he got benched. Noah Fant's biggest issue this year? Drops. But think about how productive he's been even with those. We've talked about how the tight end position almost always takes at least a season of development. Knowing that, knowing I just called Fant the next Tony G, and knowing Drew Lock is the guy, it's safe to call Fant a Hall of Famer. Besides that, Courtland Sutton is a rising star. Deshaun Hamilton looks improved with Drew Lock. I like Tim Patrick, but there's solid receiver talent in the draft, like Henry Ruggs and his blazing speed coming out of Alabama. Both the Broncos and Raiders might be one piece away from having a very dangerous offense. The 2019 rookie class also should make your pants tight. The obvious, Drew Lock, Noah Fant, and Dalton Risner, aka Drew Kids on the Lock, are a smashing hit. They are good and can be great in 2020, but Draymond Jones coming on strong. Just won Defensive Rookie of the Week with his 2.5 sack performance against the Lions. They have Malik Reed, despite playing a lot less the last 2 games, filled in admirably for Bradley Chubb, which means with early results, it appears that the Broncos hit on all 4 of their first 4 picks, plus found a gem in the rookie free agent market with Reed. Also, Justin Hollins and Juwan Winfrey could easily see bigger roles in 2020. Then, Deontay Spencer in the return game. One major hole since Holiday Road left all those years ago has been finding a reliable punt returner. Denver found that in Deontay Spencer, which means even if the Broncos sign their 2 biggest in-house free agents in Shelby Harris and Justin Simmons to new deals, they should have $40 to $50 million in cap space to make an impact signing. Maybe that's Chris Harris. Maybe it's the guard I mentioned. Maybe kill 2 birds with one avian flu and steal Chris Jones away from the Chiefs. Oh my God, just give me 2020 already. Now, brief prediction for this game. Denver will probably be without 3 starting linemen on that right side. Juwan James, Elijah Wilkinson, and Ron Leary all out. So if Maxx Crosby doesn't make an impact for the Raiders on that side, take back all the nice things I said about him. My prediction is everything will line up perfectly for the Raiders to make the playoffs. The Colts will win, the Titans will lose, and the Steelers will lose. And then, with their destiny in their own hands, the Raiders will lose to the Broncos. It's really the perfect situation, and hopefully it happens in the most heartbreaking fashion possible, like a missed field goal or Derek Carr fumbling through the back of the end zone again. And to add insult to injury, when he goes to pick up the fumbled football to hand it to the ref, he accidentally grabs a pile of fresh shit from Broncos mascot Thunder the Horse. Thanks for watching another episode of That's Good Sports. Please subscribe here on YouTube. I don't just do Broncos and Raiders videos. I cover the whole freaking NFL almost every day here. There's predictions, it's recaps, it's NFL news. That's what this YouTube channel does. Now you know. Now you really, really know.